Hello students, welcome to Sumaya English Primary School Class 6 and the subject is English Grammar. So today we will see the English Grammar chapter 27. Chapter name is Direct and Indirect Speech. Now we will talk about what is direct and indirect speech. See, here is the example it has been given. Rohan said, "Mother, I am late for school." And in this picture also what she has told? Mother said, "You will have to walk very quickly." And the same things it has been told from here. See, Rohan told his mother that he was late for school, and here the mother said that she would have to walk very quickly. So here we will see the sentences A and the B. These sentences are used the actual words of the speaking. That means whenever we are talking normally, the speaking words, it has been used. That means it is told as the direct speech. That things it has been included in this thing. That means the actual words which is used for the spoken. That means for the speaking, when we are using the actual words, that is known as the direct speech. And indirect speech, here example we will see that Rohan told his mother that he was late for school. And the same things this is also. That means here they are not using the actual words. That is known as the indirect speech. Very simple things it has been shown here. The directly, that means the actual words, the whenever we are speaking the sentences, the actual words when we are speaking, that is known as a direct, and in the sentences when there is no actual words, that is known as a indirect. You can see the example also clearly how it has been differences. So here is the some rules. We can see how we are going to change the sentences from the direct to the indirect things. That means inverted commas are used in the direct speech. You can see here the inverted comma, but in the indirect speech there is no inverted comma. You can see the sentences very clearly. In the inverted comma is used in the direct speech, and in the indirect speech there is no inverted comma. And in the indirect speech, comma separates the actual word. See, by using this comma they are separating the actual words which is spoken from the sentences. Here it has been clear, and this comma which is not used in the indirect speech. See, in this sentence there is no comma is used. That means it is an indirect speech. So in the indirect speech, the conjunction that means the word, you have to remember in the indirect speech, the conjunction that is used to introduce the reported clause. See, in this way how it has been given the example, direct speech, and in the indirect that has been used, and no inverted commas and the commas. And here the pronouns in the direct speech are usually in the third person. Whenever we are using in the indirect speech, the third person is used as a pronouns. So here is the changes in the verbs also. We can see in the present tense the direct speech will be the past indirect, and the past tense when it will be the past perfect tense. Here we will use the auxiliary also. So in this way we have seen the example. We can see the Rima said, "I am tired." Rima said. That means here the word actual word is used, and the inverted commas that is a direct, and here the Rima said that she was tired, that the conjunction word has been used, that is a indirect speech. And here also the same things, you can see the examples of the direct and the indirect speech, how it has been shown. See, the words that show closeness in the direct speech are changed to words that show farness in the indirect speech. That means in the direct speech, always the words in the sentences, it looks like it is very close to each other. And in the same things when we will talk about in the indirect speech, it looks like the words are very far away from each other. That means the Mohan said, "Bunty can come today." The inverted comma and the actual word has been used. And the same thing, Mohan said that Bunty could come that day. That is the indirect speech. So this was the direct and the indirect speech. So next we will talk about the chapter number 28, that is the object. Now what is the object? Which we have studied before also in the sentences, the subject and the predicate. So the object means the word that receives the action done by the subject. That means in the sentences, whatever the action done by the subject, that is known as the object. Here is we can see the what is the full form of the SVO, that means the subject plus verb plus object which makes the sentences. Here we can see the examples here. See, Rishi welcomed his son. Here, whom did Rishi welcome? His son. Clear? His son. Rishi welcome. All the sentences do not have object. Here all the sentences don't have any object, but the sentence has an object. The verb is transitive. That means the verb cannot take an object. It is a intransitive. So here is the above sentences. We have seen the words his cousin, a shirt and a dress. See, this one are objects. That means his son, a shirt and a dress. That means all these words are objects. That means the object consists one or more than one word. Clear? And in the sentences the object is asking the question. That means his son. Whose son? Whom son? That means his son. His son is the object and this object is asking the question. That means a sentences which has the object, it asks the question, that is the whom or what. So the sentences which has the subject, the verb and the object, that is known as the SVO. That means to have the SVO structure, when there is the sentences SVO, that means the subject should also be there, the verb should also be there and the object, that is sentences is known as the SVO. So here is the next chapter, that is the 29, SVC and SVOC we will see here. That is the same things, subject, verb and the C means here complement and the SVOC means here subject, verb, object and the complement. So always you have to remember these things, the full form it has been shown. See, in the complement means SVC, subject plus verb and the complement. See, here read the sentences, I shall become, my mother is. Both the sentences do not have any sense. That means the sentences is not complete and no sense is also there. So they will make sense only if you add the words. When we will add the words in the sentence, then only it will make the sense. See here the next sentence the same. We are completing the sentence. I shall become a lawyer. We have added the words, then only this sentences has become the meaningless. And here also my mother is, it has been, we have added the words, that is the beautiful. That means they now this sentence is complete and this sentence have the meaningful sentence. So the words the lawyer and the beautiful are the complement. These are the complement. That means the word, whatever the word used after the verb to complete the sense of the sentence. That means when we are completing the sense of the sentences, that is known as the complement. That means this word is used as a complement here. I hope so. The points are clear. Thank you.